y bienvenidos to everybody to the PGP podcast. Hey, happy 2026. Ready to rock and roll as the PGP podcast is getting closer to 100 shows. Just in 13 more. But Josh Tobat, principal of Memorial Pathway Academy in Garland, ISD, Garland, USA, ready to rock around with awesome guests today. We're a little bit late because of our links. This link is a messed up link right here. But you know what? It's great things that are happening. Great things happen in 25. Awesome things are going to happen in 26. Thanks to the teamwork and collaboration with this lady. But we'll get with her right now in a little bit. Hey, thank you for being here. We appreciate you watching it on the live show, and if not on the broadcast. Please make sure that you like and share this because there's tons of free PD. Today we're going to be addressing the shell, taking care of your temple today. Because you know, as educators, we're relaxed. Maybe we had a little bit too many tamales, maybe too many enchiladas, maybe a little bit too many stuffing, if you know what I'm talking about. But in the end, it's about working physically, mentally, everything that goes to help our scholars. So thank you for being here. Please make sure you like and share the show. If you like to be a part of the show, reach out to us, whether it be on X, Facebook, IG, whatever it is. We need your expertise. We're not alone. We're all in it together. So it doesn't matter where you're from, whether you're in Maine or whether you are in Florida, whether you're in Alaska or you're in Hawaii or anywhere in the 48, we need your expertise to be brought here to the show. Remember that the PGPP podcast is part of the Fantastic Four Network. Every Super Saturday with Sean Hurt at 10 o'clock Eastern, all Facebook Lives. You can reach him right there. After that, at 10:30, the Doctors, Shika Houston and Tammy Taylor. The Doctors, and El Jefe changed his time. 5 minutes right there at the top of the hour. El Jefe, Principal Cafele. What else can we be said? But Fantastic Four, we anchor it out on Sundays, 5 p.m. Central, ready to roll 2026. And we had some lady here who went off gallivanting through the whole continent of Africa. Dr. Mari Moreno, welcome back. How are you doing? How's your 2026 so far?
Josh, thank you so much. I missed you on the farewell, on the adios. But you know what? I was not feeling good. And so, you know what? Thank you so much for holding down the fort. But you know what? Guess what? I'm in Houston, Texas. You see my spiders. It doesn't have to be Halloween for me to have my spiders on my ceiling because I always have my spiders there. But Josh, I'm just super excited. And you know what? I think we're all rested. And this is a fantastic show because this is what we need for everybody to hear so that we can jumpstart and get ready for the spring semester. Because you know what? It's going to be busy.
Exactly. And that's my Chinchilagua moment. You are reading my mind. You're reading it, Moreno. Chinchilagua. Principal L say like, Chinchilagua, do you eat that with lettuce and cheese and ketchup? Principal Café is like, I want some Chinchilagua. No. Chinchilagua is a Mexican game, baby. It's a Mexican game to where during this past festive periods, we all line up against the wall. We yell, Chinchilagua y arriba, boy! And you run and you jump on top of your uncle. You jump on top of your grandma and you pow until it all comes crashing down. Your little cousin gets hurt. Your grandma comes out with a hanger, with a belt, starts beating everybody up because someone got hurt. Well, it's all fun and games. Well, right now, it's all fun and games, guys. Right now, you know what? Social media, I don't have people in the car crying. I don't have all this toxicity out there about education. You know, it's great. This is the perfect time now that you've recalibrated, recharged. God bless you. I'm glad because you know what? Thank you. Thank you for what you do. You are building the country. You are building the scholars. You're building your learning community. You're building each other in the hallway, in your PLC, whatever it might be. So tomorrow, when you go into work, you have to go in with that positive mentality. I don't know about you, Moreno. I don't know about you. For 33 years, 33 active years, baby, I really do not like, I don't like that H word. I do not like, heavily do not like people that after a weekend or after a vacation come in with their energy vampire. I'm so tired. I wish I had 2 more days. I gotta go back to the kid. Bro, you tell the kids to act positive when they walk into your classroom.
Yeah.
You're dragging you're going into class PD the first day, you already have a negative mindset. What do you expect your scholars?
Mm-hmm.
Where are they going to be? Are you going to like it when you prepared an awesome lesson the first day back and your scholars come in slugging in there, slothing in there with a negative mindset? You don't know, you know you don't like that. And some of us that love going to work, we love hosting our scholars. We love being around and providing a great environment for everybody. I don't know. I don't want to be brought down by your energy vampire. I don't. And big shout out to Robert Hinchcliffe, who will be here next week. You know, it's true. We don't need that around us. It's the type of mindset that you're going to have. And you know what? If you're not happy at your, and I've said it before in many shows, if you're not happy at your current place, free agency, baby, it finally reached education. You could go to anywhere because there's teachers openings everywhere. Find your fit. That way, the next time you return, whether it be in July, whether it be in December, whether it be after spring break, you feel comfortable and happy that you're in the right environment. Because you bring it in tomorrow, I'm still tired. I still haven't shaken it off. Oh, I wish I had one more day. You know what? A lot of people don't want to hear that nonsense. And I know that you don't want that. You don't want that to be coming out of your scholar's mouth the first day you get back, because you want to have a positive environment, a positive 2026, and it starts off with a mindset. Thoughts, Moreno?
Oh my God, Josh. I mean, you're speaking to the choir here, because guess what? Yeah, I may not be in the hot seat anymore, but let me tell you, for 28 years, 29 years, I felt the same way. To me, it wasn't like a job. It was fun. It was energized. It was something to do because the kids feed off of that. Like, they know when you feel like crap, and they're gonna kind of feed off of that. So you know what? I tell people, you know what? It's 5:00 in Central Time here in Houston, Texas. I don't know what time is it in your little zone, but you know what? Stop and relax and get ready, because tomorrow is a big day, and be positive. Don't be the negative Nancy of what they call it. Isn't that what they call it, Josh?
Yeah, some people, some of those Americanisms, negative Nancy, exactly. So true. So, hey, how can you prevent that? Start off your day in a positive way. Like right now, if you're watching this right now, send a text to somebody after you like and share the show. Send a text to somebody you haven't seen and say, have a great first day tomorrow. Start off the mindset by Chris. So I challenge you. Ati, look, I'm looking at you, Iowa. I'm looking at you, Minnesota. Hey, Wisconsin, I'm looking at you. Send a positive note, a text to somebody out there and wish them the best tomorrow so they could start off their day with a positive mindset. So right now we're about to bring in our awesome panel of guests. This is our third show. You know, the PGP podcast, it's about niche shows. We carry every single last topic. So you want to see the other, protect your temple, take care of your temple, take care of your physical show, episode 7 and episode 47. And without further ado, I've got these awesome leaders from across the USA. They might look a little bit familiar to you. And I would like to say a big shout out to Jefe for beating up on the Arlington Cowboys. Thank you very much. Yeah. The last score that I saw that, I appreciate that, being a fellow NFC guy. I don't know, Principal L, I don't know how your Eagles are doing to my Redskins, but ultimately, welcome to everybody. Thank you for being here. Moreno.
Gotta love hurts.
I'm so excited to be back on the show, and I'm super excited because it is the best show when we're talking about taking care of your temple. So I'm super excited to have all of you guys here today. But, you know, I know some of you guys have your own podcast. I know some of you are very active on social media, but there's some of you that people are like, who in the world is that person? So we're going to start off real simple, you guys. We're going to start off with, Robert, I'm going to start off with you, okay, since you're to my right. Give the audience a brief background on the different roles that you served while in education. Which one was your favorite and why? And don't lie.
So the only role I've ever had in education has been either a student or a board member. I've never been a teacher. I've never been a principal. I've never been a superintendent. And so I would say that I love both. But in my current role as a trustee, one of the reasons why I love what I do is because I actually get to see for graduation the fruits of our labor. in everybody's labor, collective labor in the school system, teachers, staff, principals. It's just a huge testament to all the hard work, not only our students, but staff and teachers, but also the families and our community, what that looks like in terms of how they're pouring into our students as they cross the stage and walk into their futures.
Awesome. And just let everybody know, I know where Garland is at, but can you let everybody know where is Garland?
Yes, Garland is in Texas. It's about 20 miles east of Dallas.
Okay. And how long have you been a trustee?
I've been a trustee. This is my 11th year.
Awesome.
Wow.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That is awesome work there. And thank you again, because you know what? It's hard to be a trustee because there's a lot of weight on you.
Well, thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate you asked me to be on the show today.
Awesome. Thank you. Principal L. That's what it says on your little tag there. So can you tell me, what is your name? Where are you calling from? Brief background on your different roles serving in education and your favorite and which one, why?
Yeah, well, my name is Salome Thomas L. And I've been a principal for 25 years, educator for 39 years. My students actually changed my name to Principal L when I became a principal. They don't like a lot of syllables, so they wanted to make it short and sweet. I want to give a shout out to Brother Selders too, because, you know, many people don't understand the role of trustee and board members. You know, I even have some of my own colleagues say, do board members get paid? They don't realize that that's work from the heart. That's volunteer work, it's service. And I appreciate the guidance and leadership that we receive from board members. But I was a teacher. I was a math teacher. I taught special education students. I was a chess coach, the national championship chess program. I was an assistant principal and principal. And just like Brother Selder said, the most enjoyable part of my job was actually being a teacher. I did that the least amount of years, just about 10, 12 years. But I love being able to see the fruit of the labor, to see students move on, they come back and they think. And, even as principal, Principal Caffelli could tell you, these students, they see you, they find you, they let you know, hey, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm so proud. But just as a teacher, being able to plant a tree whose shade you may never enjoy. I think that's probably really the power of the work that we do. And probably one of the other things I enjoy the most is being able to watch Josh on social media, because he's such a funny character. So and you need that joy, you need that in our schools, we need it more. And I appreciate you injecting that into the airways. We need that positive airspace. So I want to thank you guys for all you do. And I'm happy to be here, you and your team. So
awesome. Thank you so much. And remind everybody, where are you calling in from again? Did I miss that?
No, right. So I was born and raised in Philly. I'm an Eagles fan, tried and true. Sixers fan. I know Caffelli gives me a little beef because his Knicks have been beating up on my Sixers. But born and raised in Philly.
Last night.
Yeah, I know. But y'all were a little undermanned. But I was a teacher and principal in Philly for 25 years. And I've been a principal in Wilmington, Delaware for 15 years. And Wilmington's about 35 minutes from Philly. It's actually the home of Joe Biden, former president. So it's a small state, small town, but good people, from here. And so I'm honored to still be serving 39 years after my first day. Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. Yeah, I don't like your cold weather up there, so
I know you don't. And when I come to Texas, I'll be coming this summer. To TEPS, I'll be one of the keynote speakers, and I'm going to bring some of this cold air to you in June. I'm going to keep it in the freezer.
Awesome. I look forward to it because it is hot, let me tell you.
Yes.
Principal L,
Thank you so much.
one of our students is playing for the 76ers now, Tyrese Maxey.
Listen, I love Caffelli, tell you, I posted online. I was on the plane with Maxey over the summer. Yeah, we sit in first class, and I didn't say a word to him. We got off the plane. I said, Maxey, I knew you were. I said, you see, I didn't bother you because I didn't want other people to bother you. They don't know who you are. But I just thanked him. He's such a great young man. He has his uncle with him who's out there helping him out. Great family.
Yes.
And we talked a little bit when we got off of the plane. But thank you, guys. Is he from Garland ISD?
Yes, sir. He went to South Garland High School. Yes, sir.
I gotta make sure. Now I gotta make sure I let him know I met you. But you guys really, you raised a serious, strong young man. and I appreciate all that you poured into him. And he is so involved in the community here in Philadelphia. He's a great, great young man. And Kefeli saw him play last night. He's the truth, right?
Lit us up, 38.
Yeah, he's
Awesome.
the truth, brother.
Yeah,
Yeah, appreciate that,
guy.
brother. Appreciate that. All love.
Absolutely.
awesome. Principal Kefeli, come on, sir. Tell everybody who you are.
Yeah, and before I do, without going into the topic, I'm in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Last night I was at Madison Square Garden watching that game, and I bring that up in this context. It's the start of a new year. And I'm on vacation, right? That's not normal for me, but I'm 65 now, and I'm moving differently now. So instead of me being out in these speaker streets, I'm sitting in a hotel room in San Juan chilling, right? Watched the Giants a little bit earlier, and now here we are. So, and we'll get more into that as we unpack the topic. But I'm from East Orange, New Jersey, a small 3.9 square mile city in New Jersey that's produced just countless celebrity superstars, all this kind of thing. I'm not going to name all those names, but many know who they are. I wear East Orange on my sleeve. I've been living in Jersey City, New Jersey, for about 36 years now, but I wear East Orange on my sleeve, right? As far as the background, taught for 7 years, assistant principal for a year, principal for 14 years, and speaker for 40 years, but as an entrepreneur, 15 years. This is that's pretty much my professional life. In terms of that which gives me the most joy, like Salome said, Principal L, it was the days in the classroom. I just posted about that this week. That was the high point of my years in education that began in 1988. Just being in that classroom every day with those young people. Eventually, we became departmentalized. So I had the entire 5th grade. So I had about 125 youngsters coming through my class while I taught them social studies. And, those were just high points. But the beauty, as I close this, is that many of those students, whether it be when I was a teacher or when I was an administrator, I'm still in touch with a whole lot of those kids. They find you on Facebook, they thank you, all that kind of thing. And but that was a joy.
That's amazing. And it's so good to hear everybody talk about the work that is happening in the classroom and how we value that, what's going on, and the fact that it was very special for us, for all of us. Because that is where the magic happens. And so many times we hear our teachers are complaining that they don't like to be there anymore. So I'm hoping today is that day that we change their mind and we give them something to be happy about and prosper and taking care of our temple, because tomorrow is a big day. We're going to start off the school year. Right, Josh?
Exactly. But before to the next question, big shout out to Constance Sherrard, part of the Fantastic Four family. Thank you for being here. Constance, I'm going to keep on making those 2-minute videos because I'm fighting all those people complaining about our field. I will push back. We're the best profession out there. Dr. Sonia Matthews, thank you for being here. Dot McKeever Jeter, our coach, our cheerleader, all around. Thank you for being here. Central Hicks from Texas. Dr. Mike Hermana from South Carolina. Dr. Shika Houston, thank you for being here. Dr. Melissa Jones Jr. from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Kenya Sessions from Oklahoma. La Kenya Roland. That's what I read right now. Thank you for being here. Dr. Patricia Ray and Dr. Joe Griffin on the show on Saturdays. Check him out, doing a great job. And out of Ghana, the continent of Ghana, the Costa Hito. Thank you for being here. We are Global Jefe. Fantastic Four is all around the world. Before we get into it, and I have to say this, because there's always those trolls on social media. We are not offering medical advice. We're not here. We're not physicians. We're nothing. We're going to tell you our journeys in the PT, physical aspect of it, all right? That's all we're going to talk about. You go see your physician, all that nonsense that goes with that. We're here to tell you as an educator, because, people will report it on YouTube that we're talking about. We're not. We're just telling you as educators where we're coming from, all right? So go talk to your doctor. We're not doctors. So real quick, before we get into like 6-7 questions about your routines that have to do with your temple, with your shrine, with your shell. What got you real quick? I know, Robert, I know you talked about not being in education, but we're going to start off with you. What got you to run as a board member? What made you want to get into that? And for Jefe and for Principal L, what motivated you to become an educator? Because you know what? A lot of people, they know you in our niches, but I say, you guys know Principal Cafela? And they're like, who's that? We are big in certain circles, and we know people don't know us in certain circles.
That's
so this
right.
is how we keep on letting that information go out. So, Robert, what made you get to become a board member?
I'll say that ultimately, I fundamentally believe that all students deserve to have access to an exceptional education and exceptional educational experience. And I used to own a gym in Garland for about 15 years and sold it a couple years ago. And as I was sort of building my business, I'd gone to a leadership program through the city of Garland. And one of the things that they did was Education Day. So they exposed us to an elementary school, middle school, high school, and then we got a chance to go to a board meeting later that evening. And at the board meeting, prior to the board meeting, we had a chance to talk to a lot of the trustees. And so it was sort of like each of our tables of members of our cohort, and then one trustee would sit at the table. After dinner, we go into the actual board meeting. So I'm sitting back there, and they had talked to us about the demographics of the district. And I'm looking at the dais and I'm noticing, that doesn't represent the demographics that they told us about. And so I just remember thinking to myself, I might want to do that one day. And so lo and behold, a trustee decided not to run for re-election, and I put my name in the hat because I wanted to serve at a higher level. I had, at the time, 3 young children. They were all going to Garland schools, and I felt like this was an opportunity for me to serve at a higher level. Plus, I'd already been serving on the district's Student Health and Advisory Council. So having had a gym and working with all of the health matters and making recommendations to the board from that committee or from that council, it was just sort of the natural step for me. And so when I decided to put my name in the hat, my thought was healthy children, healthy minds, healthy communities, how all that works together so that, we can truly create and have the opportunity to pour into our kids in a way that impacts communities. And so I took that step, and ultimately it was one of those things where it just led me down a path and just had an opportunity to learn so much about governance and advocacy, and then serving our community at this level.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. And if you all say, why is Robert there? Hey, let me tell you, that guy looks awesome. He walks in there and boom, the gun show showing up. He's on fire when he walks into those meetings with all us administrators. He's a great role model, not only for what he does in his community he represents, but there we go. The temple's nice and kicking right there. Jefe, what got you into education?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. Think about it a lot. Once I figured out that I wanted to go to college at a late stage, I was in there, but I really didn't know what I wanted to do. I was studying marketing / business management, and I thought that was going to be the direction because that was my major. But as you know, I stumbled on African American history the day I got on campus. And I'm reading, not sleeping, just round the clock, just reading everything I didn't get prior to going to this school, Kane University in New Jersey. And then I stumbled on this book entitled The Miseducation of the Negro, written by Dr. Carter G. Woodson in 1933, the founder of what was once known as Negro History Week, which is now known as Black History Month. So in reading that book, it literally steered me in a different direction. And for that singular reason, reading that book, I said, I want to be a teacher, right? Had I not read that book, I'm not on this call with you tonight. I'm not in education. I'm doing something else. I think I'll be successful, but I don't think it will be in the education field. So that book is what brought me here. And it continues to be fuel for me moving forward. But since I mentioned his name, I would be remiss if I didn't say that now that we are in 2026, this is the 100th anniversary of Negro History Week, Black History Month. So there'll be a lot of celebration, particularly in February, just around the history around our history, African American history, and beyond. But a lot of times we refer to him as the father of history. He's not the one that first started documenting history, but his name is associated with it because of Black History Month.
Just follow Jefe. He does a great job explaining about Kwanzaa. He does a great job explaining about all those things, especially in February. Reach out if you're not wise to it. He's schooled me a lot, so thank you for that, Jefe. Appreciate that. Principal L, what made you, sir, become an educator?
Well, I mean, number one, you're right. Principal Kefeli is an educator 24 hours a day. These teachers, no matter what your age, they're gonna teach you something, and I think that's something that you always want to be proud of. And the same thing with you and Dr. Moreno. I just love how you make your show something that everybody can relate to and makes an impact immediately, because everybody today on Sunday is thinking about what they're going to do on Monday, and it can either be positive or it can be negative. So let's choose, the joy. So what started me is that when I was in college, I wanted to go to law school. I was a communications major. My professor told me about the thousands and thousands of attorneys that are out there, either not working or chasing ambulance. He said, listen, go into education. I said, I don't want to go into education. I want to make money. And I went in, I was working in television, sports television. I was actually working for Sixers TV. So I spent a lot of time with Dr. J, Charles Barkley when he was drafted. And I went in, one of my former teachers asked me to come to a career day program and talk about my job in TV. And I went in and the kids' eyes just lit up, because I don't think they knew this young kid from the hood. I grew up in North Philly, home of Dawn Projects, Dawn Staley, and all these other, great basketball players. And the kids just ran up to me like I walked on water. And I just said, wow, this is what teachers get to experience. And I said to myself, I started talking to people like, how can we improve what we're doing in school? And I remember my mom saying to me that the best way for us to improve teaching is for you to become one.
Aww.
And it never left me. I walked into my TV job and I quit. I enrolled in graduate school. I went back to the same high school, Strawberry Mansion High School, and I started teaching. And the kids ran up to me and I thought they would say, welcome back, Mr. L, welcome back, Cotter, or something. They said, Mr. L, you were a fool to leave that TV job. We were looking for you to hook us up with a job when we graduated, But I knew then that I found my calling. But I also knew that there were many students who struggled in high school. So I decided to move to a feeder middle school where I spent 10 years. We lost almost 20 young people in that community to murder in 10 years. And I knew I made the right decision. That's why I had to start teaching students, young people, to play chess to make better decisions. But it was really just, how can we improve education? And the one thing I knew, that I had to join the ranks. And I'm glad, because that's how Kefeli and I linked up, 20 plus, years ago. And it's been an amazing journey, for sure.
Yep, absolutely.
Thank you very much for sharing that, everybody. And if you guys have not followed Principal L, I was in Field Artillery 0811, and the other day I thought I saw my 155 howitzer. I saw that gun out there. He was flexing that gun like, whoa, easy. Calmado, señor. Put away those howitzers, brother.
That was just a little National Guard. That's all that was, a little National Guard.
All right. Thank you for being on the show. Thank you for your story. Let's get cracking to the journey of the shell. Moreno, go.
We are ready, Josh. We are so ready, guys. I'm going to start off with Principal L, because you know what? I just love everything that you've said so far. It just kind of resonates with me. I love it. So thank you so much. And I want to kind of pick your brain some more, because guess what? It's the beginning of the year and we all talk about we need to lose weight. We need to do more exercise. We need to get in a routine. Because guess what? I'm going to start taking notes in a few minutes. Because guess what? I have a beautiful elliptical in my room and I haven't even turned it on. So it's been a while. So I'm going to get some pointers from you guys. But, Principal L, we're going to start off with you. What or how do you start your exercise journey for people like me who have not done anything in a while?
Right. I just say, because I've noticed online people have been complaining about, it's January 1st, all the new people coming to the gym. Listen, find your space, take your time. I think one of the things I've had to learn over at 61 years old. Over the years, I've had to learn that you don't really lose weight in the gym. You know, when we lose weight, we lose muscle and fat. So so when you're in the gym, you really want to build strength and you want to get stronger. So as we get older, we lose muscle as well. Really, the way we help ourselves is how we eat in the kitchen, and that's the battle I'm really learning. Is eating more protein, making sure that I'm watching, eating high volume food, fruits, vegetables, lots of lean meats if you're not a vegetarian. And then just take your time. You don't have people. People keep saying you gotta lift heavy weights. You don't have to lift heavy weights. Now, if you lift, I'm God. God is good. I'm still benching the 80-pound dumbbells at 61. I'm only getting a few reps, but I also spend a lot of time on those on the lighter weights. Staying healthy. Technique is important. Form is important. But the thing is, the hardest part about it is you showing up. So when you go in there with that elliptical, Dr. Moreno, I appreciate you, KDO's Tabendiga. I'm so thankful for the work that you do, but get in there, say hello. Don't let that thing be a coat rack. Just move. And I think that's the key is we want to just always be moving and all. And if you do 10 minutes a day for 5 days, that's better than 1 day for an hour, because what you're building is consistency. And even in education, we know consistency matters. Those young people need to see you. They need those procedures. They need those directions. Discipline is a form of love. So discipline yourself to eat better and get in there and exercise, and it'll change your life. And the exercise doesn't make the job easier or less stressful. It helps us to deal with the stress in a better way. That's what it does for us.
I love that. What I took from that is we have to look at what we're eating as well. So sometimes going out to eat is not the solution. Just putting your sandwich together and warming it up in the teacher's lounge or something, right? Because that also matters. So thank you so much, because I got a lot from that. I'm gonna have Principal Cofelli talk, because over here, Mr. Gym owner over here, we're gonna hold off on that one. So Principal Cofelli, tell me a little bit about what or how do you start your exercise journey?
Yeah, as you know, my story is very different from the one who's just motivated by fitness and good physical health and all that kind of thing. Mine was life or death, right? Period. Drop the mic. Had a heart attack on a stage on May 1st, 2015 at the University of Miami, speaking to a room full of administrators. And it was a 60-minute keynote. About 20 minutes in, I knew I was in trouble, but I didn't know what the trouble was. So I finished the speech. And then at the end of the speech during the QA, then I knew that time was limited. So they got me to the hospital. My main artery was clogged 100%. They call that the widowmaker. Most of us don't survive that. About 60% of the people that have that particular heart attack do not survive it. God is good. God said, I'm gonna keep you around here for a little bit longer. And so they inserted a stent into the artery. And when I woke up from surgery, they informed me that I had type 2 diabetes. So exercise was not a part of my repertoire. The only exercise I got, and this is me in the thick of my speaking career, consulting career. The only exercise I got was running through airports. That's it. Right? Yeah, that's it. And whatever steps I was getting in as I'm speaking to an audience, that's it. But I was gaining a lot of weight. I was in a size 52 jacket by then, and that's really big for me. And so doctor said to me, you gotta exercise. So I do it every day. I don't do it the way that Salome and Robert do it, because I'm still not motivated by exercise. Like my wife is here in the room with me, and when I'm home on my way to the gym or putting in miles outside, my parting words every day are, well, it's time for me to engage in the worst part of my day. Right? That's what I say. Every time I'm walking out the door, it's time for the worst time of my day. So I get no enjoyment out of that. But the lesson in that for people who are on live or will see this later, everybody's not motivated by fitness, right? However, I do it more than most, right?
Mhm.
Wow.
That's the message. That's the lesson. You know, I'm in these hotels when I should be asleep. I don't mean now on vacation, but when of course, I'm gonna do it every day while I'm here, but that's not what I mean. When I'm on the road speaking, I should be asleep maybe, or watching TV after a long flight and a long drive. But I'm in a fitness room, right? I'm in a fitness room. So the word is discipline. So doing something that you despise, I despise it. I'll put it out there. There's no joy in any of that exercise that I do, but I do it, right? I'll be in there for an hour or more, 2 hours, whatever it is, and just getting it done because two reasons, and then I'm gonna stop. Number one, I want to live. Number two, I want to be healthy, right? So the diet shifted. I haven't had fast food in 15 years, whatever the number, 10 years, 11 years now. I haven't had it, right? I haven't had this stuff. I haven't been to McDonald's. I haven't been to Wendy's. I haven't been to all those spots that I used to live in. Those are not a part of me anymore. I make jokes with my wife all the time that I miss Dunkin' Donuts because it was easy for me to eat 6 glazed donuts at a time, right? During those days, 6 glazed or 6 chocolate glazed. That was my thing. So now I'm like, man, I want one of them donuts, but I haven't had a donut since the heart attack, right? So I say that for the folks who like, I don't want to go to the gym. I don't want to walk outside or run outside, you know, whatever your exercise is. I'm saying, here's your brother who's saying, neither do I. But I get it done nevertheless. And here countless people saying to me, Kafele, man, you look good. Man, you look slim and trim, right? So they see it. I don't have to announce it. They see it, which is evidence of the work that I'm putting in on a regular basis.
Well, Principal Kafele, my heart goes out because wow, I didn't know that side of you. I have never heard that story before. And that is just remarkable to hear that God still has you working because he's not done with you. That's the message here. And I want to thank you for everything that you've done and thank you for being honest. You know, sometimes I kind of feel that way.
I got videos on this stuff.
I feel like I don't want to work out sometimes either, you know, and it's a chore for me. And I wasn't like that before, but you know, now I know where it comes from. It's just, you know, time, I guess.
Hey Marty, let me say this one thing since you said that. I wasn't gonna even get into this, but since you said it, that was May 1st, 2015. I was discharged on May 4th. I went back, the doctors told me to come off the road, all that kind of thing. I went back on the road May 13th. What? And I did 85 presentations between May 13 and September 1. Now, to a lot of people that sounds crazy, but let me tell you why it worked for me. Because my intro as a speaker changed. So instead of whatever my intro would be, my intro was, I had a heart attack. That was my intro, right? Now the audience would gasp, you know, that type of thing, right? So now I said, no, but I'm good, right? So there was sympathy there. My hope was that the presentation was good, but I knew there was sympathy, but I wasn't trying to gain the sympathy. I just wanted them to know, because then I went into the work I'm doing because I was in the gym every day. I was in the gym 7 days a week back in them days. But here's my point. After every presentation, all 85 of them that summer, everybody was on their feet cheering and carrying on, right? That was the therapy that I needed me through. My clothes got big on me. I didn't realize what was why are my clothes so big? right? So when I realized, oh, I'm losing weight, I never put the two together. So
Mm.
my audience, I said, listen, y'all, don't judge me on my appearance, right? I had a heart attack, right? I don't have time to buy new suits, so I'm wearing a big baggy jacket until I get to the fall, and then I can buy a whole new wardrobe. I just wanted to throw that out there for anybody that it may resonate with for whatever the reason.
Yeah, yeah. Well, thank you so much again, Principal Caffelli, for sharing.
Oh, yeah.
Robert, tell me. I mean, you own the gym. That scares me already.
Man, I've been sitting here writing notes just because my mind was kind of racing all over the place. And Principal Caffelli, I understand exactly where you are.
Mhm.
My nephew, Jamari, when he was really young, had this saying that you do what you got to do until you get through.
Yeah.
And that stuck with me. As small as he was saying basically, sometimes you don't like what you got to do, but you got to do it anyway, because the thing that you say that you want at the end of it is worth it. And so some of the thoughts that I had as you were talking, discipline over motivation.
Yeah.
Right. Some days you won't be motivated, but the discipline will carry you forward to reaching the goals that you have. The other thing that I thought about was process over outcomes. A lot of times people get fixated on, I want to lose 50 pounds. Well, let's just start with the process and the steps that it's going to take for you to get there, and let the outcome be the side effect.
Yeah.
In education, one of the things that I've noticed, and not having been an educator, but have talked to a lot of educators and been around principals and whatnot, what's interesting about education is it's one of those professions that kind of rewards self-neglect to some degree. And it's not the case across the board, but what I've observed is sometimes that people get celebrated for being overworked. You know, they talk about, oh, how much work I had, and then people clap that up. They also get in a place where they normalize exhaustion. Like Josh, you talked about earlier, I'm so tired, coming back from a holiday. And sometimes people even confuse sacrifice with effectiveness. And so when I think about leadership and being a teacher and being in front of a classroom, leadership in that perspective is a physiological concept over something that's more philosophical, right? And so I think about temple, think about physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, and how all those things work together, and looking at it from a holistic standpoint. One of the things that keeps me motivated is I did a certification about maybe 17 or 18 years ago. And the presenter gave a scenario and said, now, as you know, we're in America, and because of how society is, people tend to live longer these days, but they're not living better. So just imagine for a moment if you knew that you were going to live to be 100, but because you didn't take care of yourself and you became incapacitated at the age of 75, that means that you have 25 years of somebody having to wipe your butt. And that hit me hard. So I think about like all of my family members, in our community, how our eating and our health habits have been for us as men, not going to the doctor, not paying attention to our health. Like that hit me like a ton of bricks. And so when I started working with my clients, I would talk about, what is it that you want? And at the end of the day, I can't want for you more than what you want for yourself. So let's talk about what's going on in your life. Let's talk about like, how is your life set up to help you be successful? And so I just start with the basics. And at the end of the day, I think most people really know. They'll try to act confused, but they really know. So if I ask a question right now, if you're making decisions to take you closer to your goal or further away from your goal, and I give you this, does broccoli or potato chips take you closer to your goal or further away from your goal?
Right.
That's hard.
Would sitting on a couch or going to walk take you closer to your goal or further away from your goal? a lot of times we tend to overcomplicate things. And I get the New Year's Eve, New Year's resolutions and people wanting to do that. And that's all fine and good. But at the end of the day, it's about the action. And if you look at various process steps that allow you to take one step closer to your goal versus away from your goal, then you'll ultimately get there. So yeah, like Principal L, you talked about nutrition. That's absolutely right. Strength training is absolutely right. I know a lot of women say, well, I got to do cardio because I don't want to get buff like men. Well, that's not usually going to happen unless you're injecting yourself with some kind of substance, more than likely. But you do need it because as you get older, things start to sag, right?
Yeah.
You don't want that. You don't want that in your business, right? Not only that, you think about osteoporosis. For guys, the same thing. It's just a little bit different. But I think strength training ultimately is sort of like the power. It's sort of like your ultimate power. Because
we're actually going to get into that, Robert, when we're going to talk about cardio or powerlifting or anything like that. We're going to actually get into that in a few seconds. But guys, this is amazing. I'm like listening to you guys and I'm just like, wow. I mean, facts. So guys, I need everybody to like and share the podcast here. Go onto YouTube. I put it on my Facebook, the actual link to YouTube. Please like and share it on YouTube because we want everybody to make sure that they go on there and watch this. This is amazing, Josh.
Exactly. Like hearing all these stories and all of these points. Hey, I saw Jefe after the heart attack.
What?
I met him at the Las Vegas Venetian at NASSP. And then when I saw him at Sanelli High School in the middle of the crops of cotton fields in the middle of nowhere, Texas. I'm like, what happened, bro? What happened? Woo! I love it. Hey,
came in there skinny.
It was a memory right there.
We have that photo, so that's
Exactly.
also a good thing. Yeah,
Exactly. And so just out there, all I could tell you about that last one is this. Look, I'm 55 and I went to the gym 248 times last year. 248. I do it because of many reasons. And just like you said, Robert, someone had to wipe my mom's behind. And that was a proud woman. And for her to know that someone's wiping her behind, I know that it demoralized her even more in her medical condition. So what you're doing right now at your 20s and your 30s and your 40s is not for the current state. It's for what you will be at your 60s, 70s, and 80s. And 90s now with medication, with new medical treatments. We're living longer, baby.
Yeah,
and are you going to want someone wiping your butt? Are you going to want your youngest child putting your diaper on? Heck to the no. So you better make sure that you take care of that temple. Make sure you take care of that shell that you have out there. So let's start off right now with Principal Cafele. I know what the answer is. I know a lot about Principal Cafele right there, but I got a simple question for you right now. Tell the audience. Remember, this is not medical advice, so don't tell on us on YouTube that we're giving medical advice or physical. Don't block the show. It's not like I'm making $1,000. I'm not making enough for my gas full of tank for my new car. All right,
now you remember I said half tank.
No, well the way they text you in New Jersey, of course. All right, here we go. What do you prefer, sir? Weights, cardio, a combo of both? Weights, cardio, or a combo of both? Why? Which one do you select?
Yeah, it's cardio, but there's an explanation for that. When I was a principal, and I can't even explain this scientifically, but something happened to the right side of my body, and I lost all this muscle. It's like it fell off. It disappeared. If you ever see me without a shirt, you'll see this looks really good. This is completely flat, right? It just disappeared. So I used to lift. When I met my wife, she met somebody who was really buff, right? So for years I lived in the gym, right? So I wanted to get back into it, but I found that this is the side, my right side. I couldn't do anything with my right. Right. It's like, man, I can't do one push-up to this day because of my right side. Right. It never recovered. But the pain I was enduring, they put a steroid in me, and the pain that I was enduring disappeared. But but it took a whole lot away from me. Like I have no feeling in this finger to this day, and we're talking when I was a principal. So that's over 15 years ago. I can bite my nail down to the nub, the thing will start bleeding, but I will not realize I'm bleeding, right? Because I have no feeling, right? But that represents the whole side, right? So I'm saying all that to say that the cardio singularly for that reason, right? Yeah.
And if you all don't know, he likes to do long jump, just that he pulls his hamstring or something like that. But I'll
put it like this. Carl Lewis and I were in high school at the same time. He was in Willingboro, New Jersey. I was in, at this time, Woodbridge, New Jersey. Carl Lewis was jumping 22 feet in high school. But Baruti Kafele was jumping 22 feet in high school as well, right? But without having the technique of long, I just did it because the coach asked me my senior year, why don't you try it? So I ran down the runway every day, but I would stand straight up, erect. Carl Lewis knew how to stretch it out. So I was really jumping more than 22 feet in high school. I was jumping about 25 feet in high school, but I never learned how to stretch my legs out so that I can get them extra 3 feet.
I just need you to take
6 medals.
Well, I need you to tell that story. I fed you that softball right there because it's a great story. Principal L, I know the answer to this. I saw that howitzer. I saw that cannon right there. So cardio, weights, or a combo of both, or maybe something else. ¿Qué pasó?
Well, I just want to make sure people know Carl Lewis is a legend. An Olympic. You know, I'm sitting there like, yo, all these years I've been knowing Kafele. This man is compete. You know, and down this, you know, this side of New Jersey, you know, down in South Jersey, Carl Lewis was everything.
Yeah.
Man, I got to make sure when next time I see you, I got to put on a nice suit, brother, when I see you, man. That long jump. But Josh, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm a combo man. I'm 2 pieces in a biscuit, right? I like weights, but I like cardio too. The cardio I think keeps me at. Well, you know, I'm also in school. These students are always challenging you. You can't run anymore. You're an old man. You can't run. You can't play ball. You can't do this. So the cardio allows me to keep up with them. The strength allows me to say, hey, listen, don't test me because I still got a little muscle on me, you know. But I like the combo. I like the strength because it allows me to really test myself. But I also know that over the years, because, you know, Josh, you talked about people having to take care of us and taking care of your mom and grandma, that kind of thing. But the temple that we have to take care of other people. And if we don't take care of ourselves, how are we going to serve others? We serve others right now in the work that we do. So when you take care of yourself, you are actually pledging to be able to support your community and support others. So I like the lifting weights, but I still like getting on that treadmill. Now I don't do the 3 and 4 and 5 mile runs anymore. Most of them are like quicker sprints, quicker bursts. You know, Robert will tell you that HIIT training is, you know, better a lot of times for if you want to not lose muscle. And Robert, by the way, also, I'm already booking a flight down there to DFW so I can get some personal training from you down there.
Come see me. I got you.
Nice.
But
yeah, I'm a combo man, guy. I like the weights and I like the cardio.
And I agree with you. Hey, you know, I work with these 19, 20-year-old men at my school. I go, baby, I better wake up. They better see it. You ain't gonna push me around. Because you know, always those young lions.
They call it that. They call it that old man strength. You know,
exactly.
About that.
Exactly. Does Tobar still have it? Yeah, baby. I'm still the old man swing still right there. Robert Selders. Cardio.
I love what Principal L said. 2 pieces in a biscuit. I'm a combo guy too. There's this guy named Mark Ripito. He had a quote that stronger people are harder to kill than weaker people and are in general more useful. And there was a shirt that I got one time that said stronger people are harder to kill. And what that signified to me was that at some point, you know, you might find yourself as you age in a situation where you fall. You don't have any strength. How do you get back up? Or if you don't have the strength to buffer your body against the fall, then you start breaking stuff. And so as you age, it becomes even more important, not only to be strong, but also to be reactive. Now, the cardio piece, I tend to look at it from a different perspective. One of the things that I did with my gym, I had a CrossFit affiliate, and I really enjoyed CrossFit training because it benefited in so many different ways. And we did things a little bit different, but our focus was on helping people live the life that they want to live, to have the types of decisions and the ability to live independently for as long as they wanted to. And so that was the way we trained, more so for longevity. So there were bouts of where we did high endurance, high strength, stressful type cardio. But for the most part, now I try to focus on more zone 2, zone 3 sort of conditioning. When I get to the point where I'm ready to start competing again, I will kind of change my training to be able to incorporate some of those higher elements things. But what I've noticed in the way that I train is almost like a form of stress, right? And your body doesn't really know the difference, whether or not you're stressing it by exercise or you're in a very stressful situation. And what I discovered is, as I was training, in the way that I was training, my body became familiar with the way that it felt. And it psychologically, whenever I found myself in stressful situations, there was a sense of calm there because my body was like, we've already been here before. We know what this is. We don't have to trip. We don't have to freak out. We know how to handle this situation. And I was able to think more clearly in those situations. So I'm a combo guy.
Awesome.
Thank you for sharing that, guys out there. And those of you that got the New Year's resolution, going to those gyms, all I'm telling, before you quit in 2 weeks, I know you're going to quit in 2 weeks, all right? I wish you the best. I really do wish you the best. But please don't be sitting on the machines. Don't be scrolling through the phone. You're annoying. That's why us regulars don't like the first 3 weeks of January.
No, they don't.
So please, if you're new to a gym, do your thing. Hopefully you don't lie to yourself, but do your thing, but don't be scrolling on the machine, because all of us, we have routines already. We have our machines on every day. So get off if you've never been there before and sit on a chair, do your thing in your brain, then go use a machine. Don't be scrolling on your phone because you're hurting us that are regulars.
I hate to burst your bubble, Josh, but you got some gym veterans that do that. You got these social media influencers filming and all kind of. They take up equipment too. So
true.
You can hold your nose up if you want. But let me speak for some of these new people out here.
No, I got you. You're right. There's always a preacher.
Wow.
There's always a preacher in there that tells you how to do it. He has no cuts, no shreds, but he'll tell you how to do it. Amen. Amen.
They got their phones set up on the tripod and everything, man. On 20 minutes on stuff, man. This is unbelievable.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm laughing because I used to be a gym rat. I used to go at 4:00 in the morning when I was a principal. Because it was the only time I had to go. Right now that I'm not a principal, guess what? I don't go anymore, and I'm not a gym rat anymore. So but I'm thinking about what you guys are saying, because I took my mom's diaper. I mean, I put it on. I took care of my mom that way, and I'm thinking, oh my God, I do not want them to do that to me. So I'm really taking all of this to heart, you guys. I really am. I'm gonna go ahead and go to Principal Cofelli on this one, because it goes back to nutrition. It talks about how we take care of our bodies. And it's just so hard as principals, as educators, as teachers to make sure that we're eating the right thing. And you said that you don't eat fast food anymore. So that is like a big plus, but that's not what most people do in our schools and in our classrooms and our teachers. So my question to you is, describe to the audience your eating habits, because you travel so much as a speaker.
They're not what I would want them to be for the that you just stated. I get into a lot of places late. Everything is closed. The only thing that's open is Applebee's and Waffle House, right? Waffle House is out of the question. Applebee's, I can pretty much find something that's not going to be comparable to fast food, but that's if I even want to eat that late. Because see, we're talking midnight, we're talking 1 o'clock in the morning, and I got to get up at 5:30 or 6 o'clock, right? So I may unfortunately have to go on and go to bed with no meal, right?
Mm.
Or if there's a noodle soup in the hotel, then I'll heat that up and eat that, right? But yeah, it's hard, so anybody out there that's going to see this or is on with us live right now, being a speaker, it's hard to stay healthy as far as your eating habits when you're on the road like that. When you're on the road at the volume that I am, right? It's very difficult. It's challenging. So what you hope is that at least the lunch is decent, the breakfast is decent, but the dinner that can be quite challenging, right? Because you may be in an airport when you can eat dinner, but it depends on where you are. What type of choices that you have there.
True.
Like Salome just mentioned, DFW. There, you probably find something decent, but you may not always be in a big airport like that. You may be in an airport that's got a few gates, right? So they have nothing. So now you got to figure it out. So it's hard. And then as a principal, back in those days, like I said, health just wasn't my thing. I'm about young people being educated. So I'm literally, my day was comprised of stopping at McDonald's in the morning to get the 4 hash browns and whatever's in that orange juice, and then go on to school, eat school lunch, but also have my security go out and get me a 1/4 pounder large fry and a large soda. Then on the way home, knowing that my wife cooked, those fries are addictive. So there was a McDonald's. So stop there, get another large fry, another 1/4 pounder, and then go eat dinner at home that my wife cooked, and then start the process all over. So it was bad. That's why I had the heart attack. It wasn't something that just happened. It was the accumulation from the years, the principal years, and then the speaking just took it to another level because now I had a lot of Cokes to drink. I was drinking about 12 Cokes a day, right? Cokes and coffees, right? That was my coffee. So that was keeping me awake when I was extremely tired. So so it all just accumulated into that particular day, and here we are. So now I can't use me as an example for somebody else as far as what you should do, but I can share with you what I should have done moving forward for that younger principal that I may be working with.
And that's so valuable and so good to hear, right? I mean, if I don't take care of myself, these things can happen to me. I mean, it happened to you.
Right. That's right. I
And
mean, imagine you spoke on a stage and now you're laying on your back on the same stage with a guy who, I was blessed that there was a guy with a medical background. He wasn't a doctor, but he had some kind of medical background. Because once I told the people, it was doing a Q&A, I said, I think I'm dying. And they all laughed, right? There's 200 people laughing because they thought I was joking. I said, no. And I said it real slow because my vision was blurred.
You were not. I mean,
so I said, no, time out. I think I'm dying. So now imagine 200 people rush the stage. So now they rush the stage. Now what you going to do once you get there? But there was a guy with some kind of medical background, and he said he yelled at them, clear out. And they cleared out. He asked me to lay down on my back. He diagnosed me as having a heart attack. So he called the ambulance, and they had to literally plead with me to stay alive because I told them repeatedly, I said, I can't make it. I'm not going to make it to this hospital. I'm done. Goodbye. And they kept saying, sir, fight. I guess.
And look at you now.
And I here I am.
And he's still fighting.
Still fighting.
Awesome. Thank you. Robert, talk to me, Robert.
Wow. So
Tell me about your nutrition habits.
Couple things. I made some notes here that if you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. And then progress, not perfection. A lot of times people think that they have to eat perfectly in order to see results or get healthy, and that's not absolutely true. The other thing that I think about is if you don't make the time to take care of your body will eventually force a conversation. And so like Principal Kafele talked about, Like
Yeah.
you can make all the decisions that don't support your body being well, and at some point your body gonna be like, "Hey,
Yeah.
bro, like we can't keep this up," and it'll start making decisions for you.
Yeah.
So I just try to take a sensible approach. People that have really busy schedules, when I'm talking to clients that I've had in the past, when I own my gym that traveled and were super busy, we would talk about what do you do to be able to have the days where it could be good, better, or best, right? You may not be able to get the best absolute nutrition that you can that particular day, but can you do better? What does better actually look like for this particular individual? And I ask them, what does better look like? And we just start talking about what that is. And then if you can't do better, can you do good? And so if you don't have the opportunity or the you're not in a place or don't have what you need to do the best or do better, you can absolutely do good. And we would kind of go through some scenarios of what that is. If you're traveling a lot, or if you find yourself in a classroom spending lots of time, can you drink a protein shake? Can you bring bars? It might not be the absolute best, but in the moment, the difference between you actually providing yourself sustenance in that moment, taking 5 minutes or, having a quick break to grab a bite of a bar that's going to give you a little sustenance to kind of help you continue to go on until you can get to a place where you can have that planned meal that you've already situated. Again, it's no difference than, I think, and I don't know how this is in the classroom. I would have to imagine that we don't have teachers out there winging it. I don't know, but I imagine that teachers have to put together their lesson plans, right? It's no different than putting together a lesson plan. What is your lesson plan as it relates to your personal nutrition to help you be healthier? And again, taking a step closer to the goal that you have versus a step further away.
I love that. And it's called scaffold. Instead of going around and saying, you know what, I'm going to start eating vegetables every single day, scale it back and say, you know what, I'm going to eat vegetables 3 times a week or something. And eventually you can do it every day. But I love that. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for sharing that with
And a lot of times people talk about what they should do. Like, I should do this or I should do that.
Mhm.
And I always tell my clients, don't should on yourself. That's not helpful.
Yeah.
Just think about what it is that you can do and be
And do it.
consistent with. Like
Mhm.
Principal L and maybe Principal Capele said this, the consistency is what helps you achieve the goal.
I love that. I love that. Thank you. That was wonderful and great advice for everybody. Principal L, your eating habits, sir. How do you take care of yourself? Because, principals are crazy busy. I know, I was there.
Yeah, you've been on the job, so it's no such thing as a lunch hour for a principal, right? Like 4 o'clock, we be trying to get something like, damn, I didn't eat lunch today. Now I will say I'm seeing a lot more educators, teachers, and leaders meal prepping now, Robert.
Mm.
I'm impressed when I see them come in with their containers and whatnot. So people are and educators more important, as you know, because like you said, we clap for people who wear themselves out. We celebrate people when they retire, but they can't enjoy life anymore. So to
Yeah.
see people taking care of themselves it's enriching. But I also want to say today is the first time I really, in all these years that I heard Principal Capele talk about that experience. What was that in Miami, brother, when you had the heart attack?
Yeah.
I think I blocked out all these years, even trying to imagine what it was like, because to think that we almost lost him, and imagine all the years of knowledge and wisdom and brotherhood, and felt the way he's uplifted women, the way he's uplifted Black and brown people for decades. We could have lost all of that, and just it's hard for me to think where we would be right now if we didn't have him. And I think just hearing him today
Appreciate you.
talk about how he thought he was a goner,
Yeah.
but God just said no. And I see people putting in the comments, and I love these people in the comments. Dr. Sonia Matthew and Dr. Sheikah Houston, these other folks out here. Just they're supporters. They lift you up, and you need that. And then I think one of the most common comments was that God wasn't done with you yet.
Yeah.
Yep.
He
I
knew
agree with that.
he
There you
knew
go.
he knew he needed more from you, and but he said, I'm gonna give it to you, but you better do something with it.
That's
Mhm.
it.
And you did it. And so, and I'm just gonna say to you, brother Capele, and everybody else, I don't know if you're aware of this, but McDonald's French fries have 19 ingredients. I don't know what you got. I know I used to cook my own. I grew up with the government cheese where you break 3 knives trying to cut through the cheese. making grilled cheese sandwiches, and we used to cut potatoes up and put them in the pan. I can't think of what 19 things I could have thrown in the pan. I might have thrown some salt, pepper, some paprika, some of my mother's expensive dollar store seasoning she had. But if McDonald's is putting 19 ingredients in their French
That's
fries,
crazy.
they want you to be addicted.
Yeah.
That's why they're so they want you to be addicted.
Yeah.
Yep.
It worked.
My own practice is pretty much I try to make sure I have protein at every meal. And what I'm speaking to you is I want to get better at this. I'm not as good as I should be, but I'm much better than I was. And God is not concerned with who I was. He's concerned with who I'm trying to become.
Correct.
And so I'm trying to become that person. I want to make sure I'm having protein at every meal, more fruits, more veggies. I saw somebody put in there, Principal Caffelli, packs of veggies and fruit.
And some fruit.
Now, I don't think people understand, man. This road life, like we literally fly into airports that don't have restaurants. It's all machines, all vending machines in the whole airport.
Yeah.
And that's why, Robert, that protein bar on the road, I keep some beef jerky. My daughter was making fun of me, because I keep these little beef jerkies, with me. They're easy to travel with, but it's a piece of protein, something you can get to hold you over. But I'm also trying to get better at drinking more water. The problem is, as an educator, the more water you drink, Dr. Moreno, as you know, it keeps you going to the bathroom, so you got to keep going to the bathroom, and Principal Caffelli can tell you, when you're in a cafeteria or the auditorium doing something with the young people, you don't say, listen, y'all, I got to stop and go to the bathroom. You got to keep going. So I'm trying to drink more water, getting people to be aware of the calories they drink. Because I walk into my office in school and folks got ginger ale in the morning on the desk and Coca-Cola and I'm like, get that water, get that water.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to improve with that. And then, as Caffelli said as well, Caffelli said, I'm trying to not to eat late. I'm trying to cut back on the eating late. I'm doing some light intermittent fasting, trying not to eat late. And then in the morning, making sure I'm breaking my fast with, something healthy, but more proteins. And like Robert said, those high value foods, 2 cantaloupes gives you the same amount of calories as 6 Oreo cookies, but you couldn't eat those 2 cantaloupes in one sitting, and they're much better. So I try
can those Oreos.
Right. So I try to use that as my visual, like try to eat those foods, that'll keep you fuller. Like you say, those chips taste great, but they're not. And I'm going, that's one thing, Rob, I'm going to steal from you, brother, is that if it's not helping me get to my goal, then it's not good for me. That's going to be my new category. It's getting me closer to my goal. Motto. Oh, yes, my new motto is getting me away from it. I like that.
I wanted to throw this nugget in there, if you don't mind. You mentioned about cantaloupe versus Oreos. When you're eating lots of processed foods, you talked about the 19 ingredients in a McDonald's French fry. Your body doesn't recognize that as food. So it never sends a signal to your brain that you're actually full. So you continue to eat and eat and stuff yourself until you're sitting back unbuckling your pants. I don't think you've ever heard anybody overeating apples.
Right.
Because your brain will get the signal that I'm good. I have enough nutrient density in the foods that I've consumed to be able to be good, right? So when you talk about the food items, trying to eat foods that are closer to one item ingredients, like, beef or chicken or broccoli or cauliflower or green beans. Like if you think about those are the original ingredients as opposed to processed foods, if you can't pronunciate the ingredients, ingredients are in the food, you probably shouldn't be eating them.
Yes, sir.
Amen to that. Amen to that, Josh. This has been an awesome conversation, Josh. I've just loved every single second of it.
All right. And the next set of questions are real quick. Again, we're not experts. Go see your doctor. Don't report us. Don't get us banned. These are a bunch of educators here talking about real life. Speakers, real life. All right. So, hey, team panel, the next couple of questions are real quick. They're not really in detail because we know that it's all different shells. I'm an endomorph. That's my body structure. There's mesomorphs, ectomorph. There's different body styles. So there's not one catch for everybody. All right. So the next couple of questions are like, what fits within your body format, something that's for you, obviously. Again, we're not medical physicians. We're not here to provide any kind of medical advice. We're just letting you know what works for us. So the very first question for me is this: what kind of supplements do you take the older that we get? Hey, we're becoming old. Facts. All right. We're past the 50 mark. I don't know about you, Robert. I don't know how old you are, but I know the rest of us are past 50. So what extra are you taking now that with life, we lose those minerals, we lose those vitamins, we lose all that stuff? What are you taking that helps your shell, Principal L?
I try to I do the cassava protein, so I make sure I try to get a protein shake. I mix that in, and I drink AG1 as well. I do that to try to with a lot of supplements for my vitamins. Instead of me taking a bunch of pills, I can just make me AG1 drink in the morning. Now AG1 is very expensive, and I grew up in the projects, so I grew up in a house where my mother would keep oil on the windowsill for 3 and 4 weeks and reuse it and cook other foods with it. She would take 1 bottle of dish liquid and dilute it and make 3 bottles out of it. So when I buy the AG1, its prescription is every month. I make it last almost 2 months, to be able to save. But I do the AG1 in the morning, and I just try to get that protein in, and that's about all I really do, Josh. To be honest with you, for something I'm doing creatine and that kind of stuff. Probably should, Robert said, don't worry about your shoulds. I probably should, but I just try to make sure I got those vitamins and nutrients for the energy that I need, for the stamina.
Yes, sir.
And then for the vitality that I need to deal with these children, because I have some young people that will give an aspirin a headache. So I got to make sure I got energy every day for it.
Yes, sir. And you know what? The new studies are coming out that creatine does help us with our mentality to prevent any kind of mental disorders in the future. So creatine is becoming something. I do take it every single last day. Robert, what do you take?
I do a protein. I do a whey isolate though, because I'm lactose intolerant, so I can't do the casein or the whey stuff unless it's like really a good quality. I also throw a greens product in there, superfoods product. And glutamine. It helps to boost your immune system, and it also helps to preserve lean mass during periods of having a caloric deficit. I also take supplements to kind of help with joints. I had some old injuries when I played football back in college, and now I'm just kind of dealing with some joint stuff. So just to kind of keep it going, my doctor would say motion is lotion, so I just keep it moving.
Perfect.
And Robert, real quick, when you talked about that lactose intolerant, my daughter's lactose intolerant. I saw her eating Oreos one day. I said, "How are you eating Oreos?" She said, "Dad, there ain't no milk and no cream, no butter, nothing in it." I said, "But it's white cream." And she said, "It's all chemicals." I said, "What? That's that processed food, right?" Like, it's amazing.
I will say that if you do make the decision or choose to eat that way, you might want some dietary support, right? With digestive enzymes or something along those lines, with prebiotic and probiotics to help, improve the gut microbiome that you have, so that you can start breaking down some of these foods and it passes through and it doesn't have the impact on it that you probably normally would.
Yeah, that's what the AG1 has, the prebiotics and probiotics. I think that's what attracted to me.
And remember, everybody, that's their bodies, and that's what works with their bodies.
Yes.
Back to the,
Well,
disclaimer,
you gotta do your research on what works. Because trust me, if you're drinking that whey protein and your belly's not good for it, you're gonna be passing a lot of gas and other stuff.
Sir.
That's a fact. So you got to make sure you get the right thing for your body. That's just a fact.
Yeah.
You got to find the right way for you.
100%. Yep.
Principal Cafele, what do you drink? Supplements? Anything?
Anything. And before I go, let me just pass a virtual handkerchief or tissue to Doc McKeever Jeter, because Detroit just kicked a field goal with 2 seconds left to seal the deal. So the Bears ain't happy, right? So anyway, so
Dot, I'm crying with you.
But yeah, unscientifically, I lot of greens, just green vegetables. I'm not, when Sonia was talking about the fruit, I have an aversion to fruit. I just don't like it. I will eat an orange from time to time, but anything else like cheese, I just despise it. There's same way I said about the gym. I just don't like fruit. I came out the womb that way. But I eat a lot of vegetables. Probably more vegetables than anything else. I eat a lot of fresh fish. When I'm home, it's pretty much every day.
Love fish.
Yeah, a lot of it. I take a multivitamin. I'm not going to get into which one. I take a lot of vitamin C. I drink a lot of fresh squeezed orange juice when I'm home, not on the road, but when I'm home, I drink a lot of it at a place that I go to where they squeeze it. And you know, and then obviously with the heart attack and the diabetes, you know, I know that there's a lot of natural information out there, but I also know the kind of schedule that I have. Right. So the stuff that the doctor has prescribed, I know how addictive that it is to your body. I get all of that. But that's what I'm on right now. So those various different meds that relate to the heart attack, the diabetes, you know, and that's where I'm at. When I get to a point where I can slow down, and I'm trying to do that now, and enjoy this travel life and other things a little bit more than I have in the past, travel outside of work travel, then I can get a little bit more serious about some of those things too. But right now, as Principal L was saying about 10 minutes ago, a lot of people really don't understand the wear and tear of speaker life, the grind of speaker life. You know, our lives, and I don't have a problem saying this. I would dare say that our lives are much more, particularly when you're doing it full time, are much more strenuous than someone in the NFL or the NBA, right? Because they have the chefs, right? They only practice for 2 hours and they got a whole day to themselves, right?
Private planes.
Yeah, they got everything. But us, we fly in commercial, and it's a tough way to live. And I know that that's not the theme of this show, but I know that there are aspiring speakers on this thread, and I just want to say that this living, the stage, if you speak well and you've got good content, that's for anybody, right? If you speak well, you got good content. But that other part, the part which equates to traveling to get to that stage, that's not for everybody, right? That's everybody can't endure that. It's a bit much.
Living out of a suitcase.
And you're away from home. You're away from home cooked meal.
Yeah.
Right? So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for giving some of the thoughts. Hey, Robert, I know that if you got to take off, just let us know. What you got your family thing, family first, right there. We got a couple more questions to go there, but again, these are kind of a little bit more of the lightning round as compared to the very first section. Moreno, go.
So this is super easy, you guys, and Robert, because I know your time is limited, I'm going to start with you, and it's easy. What song do you listen to make you work out even more? What's that one song?
It's not one song. It's anything by Missy Elliott.
Miss Elliott. What?
Missy Elliott.
Missy Elliott.
That's my girl.
Awesome. What about you, Principal L? That once you're in mute.
On mute.
I'm an old school person, so I'm like anything like Tupac or Run DMC or something. Yeah, I'm old school in the gym for sure.
I love
gonna
that.
make you sweat. Gonna make you sweat. Yeah. Put the music in your soul. Let your body move. Sweat. I know I can't sing.
I love it. Principal Capelli, what about you? What is your rhythm?
It's a lot, but I'll just narrow it down. I'm also old school. Anything James Brown, anything Sade, anything.
Nice.
And even though Luther sang ballads, anything Luther.
Love Luther.
I can listen to
Frankie Beverly.
That's where I was going next. Anything.
I know you like
And
him.
you know that. You know, I cried for a solid week, and I never even met the man.
Yeah.
Right. I was at the last concert in Philadelphia, so there was a connection there. I saw the last show. Right.
Wow.
At the Dell, I remember.
Yeah. Frankie Beverly. You know,
there.
those are my groups. I don't even go to shows too much because that's who I want to see. You know, and I can't see those individuals. I can see Sade if she ever decides to travel, but I don't think we're ever going to see her again at this point.
No.
It's unfortunate, but you're right. Those are some jams, you guys. I can relate to all of you guys because I love all of those artists and their songs and whatnot. So awesome. Guys, if you have not liked and shared the show, I want you guys to do that now because if not, you're going to forget. So go ahead and like and share the show, and make sure that you tell your friends to come join us, because we're having a bunch of fun, and we are learning some new things. I know I'm learning some new things from all of you guys, right, Josh?
Right. And in the Who Cares Bowl, the winner is the Washington Commanders. Sorry, man. The Who Cares Bowl. So right there.
No.
Commanders.
The Who Cares Bowl. All right, but it's a way to finish.
Well, we rested our starters today.
I
wish
know,
we
I
didn't,
know. Stop. You know,
because with the Bears losing, if we had won, you'd have had the second seed.
I know. All right.
Yeah.
So real quick,
I love you anyway, Josh. I love you anyway. Me amor, me amor.
I'm just like Principal Cafele. Everything that I like is all Washington, and they're all horrible. So I've had decades of cancerous teams, but it's all right. It's all right. It is what it is. So my question to you is this, and we'll start off again with Robert because of time constraints. Who do you listen to that will motivate you, like a health expert, a motivational guy? Who's that guy that gets you in the morning and tells you, let's go, bro? For me, you know, I have this one guy that he just wakes me up in the morning when my big fat body doesn't want to roll out of bed. I got that one guy that motivates me. Who do you have, Robert? Who motivates you to get out of bed?
Well, I mean, I'm just grateful to be able to get out of bed. So I thank God for the ability
Yes,
to do
sir.
that.
Yes, sir.
Hey.
And I usually don't have anybody that I listen to getting out of bed, unless it's my wife, you know, talking or something. But the person, if I had to choose one person, would be Eric Thomas, the hip hop preacher. That brother is on fire. I love listening to him. Very energetic, great information, great insight, great wisdom, super motivational.
Awesome.
I would be remiss if I didn't say, I know you didn't call on me. I'm not going to respond either. I just, because you mentioned ET. I was back in 2012, ET and I were invited to speak in Bermuda. Nobody knew ET. He was in the backyard doing, thank God it's Monday, right?
Yeah.
And he was doing those videos, and all of us, so I kept up with him for a while, and then I stopped keeping up with him, right? And then years later, then I start hearing his voice on voiceovers on television. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's that dude. Because see, we were there for 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
We had the same driver. So we were together every day.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
Going to different places, you know, we eat together, radio interviews, all this stuff. And then I'm like, man, this dude blew up.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm not going to answer your question. Yeah, I just wanted to say that about ET.
Yeah.
Being able to see him before there was a ET.
Yes, sir.
Right? Of course, he called himself ET, but now the world, everybody knows ET.
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Gotcha,
Apparently,
gotcha.
the whole thread knows ET. They're
Right.
putting all of that on there now.
And I just like to bring some clarity there, Robert. In the morning when I can't wake up, I got Goggins yelling at me. I got Goggins, all right? When I wake up, my eyes open up and I don't want to roll out, I hear his voice.
You hear his voice.
I hear it. Get up, fat boy. Get up, fat boy. Get out from bed. Roll over. You know he's yelling at you. So that's the guy right there. Principal Cafele, let's go. Who do you got?
Yeah, you know, I don't have one. What just lately, I didn't realize until I've known Dr. Greg Carr for a little bit, right? I know you got to know him, Salome. So I didn't know he was on the Urban View on Sirius XM. I don't know if everyone on the call knows him or not. But now that I know he's got this morning show, he's on usually Wednesday to Friday, I think. I just tune in to listen to him because he is contemporarily one of the most profound thinkers. I'm not looking for no motivation when in the morning, because it's internal. But in terms of just getting some new information, he is one of the most profound thinkers probably on the planet. It's interesting that when I listen to him, a caller could call in on any like random something that they're talking about, and he can go so in depth with something that I'm like, how would you even know that? Right. So, so that's kind of my go-to these days. Just listening to Dr. Greg Carr. He's a professor at and dean at Howard University, I might add, in African American history, and he's a product of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Thank you for
Awesome.
sharing that.
Yeah. So
Principal
you know
L.
I got it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I gotta know him. I mean, that's
Yeah.
that brother. He has Philly roots, man, and he's tried and true, not only to the community, but to his people. I mean, he's a soldier,
So
for his people. I remember from the freedom schools back in the day. He just did so much. And then he's a brother, as you know, that no matter where he is, he will reach down, talk to you, you real down to earth. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I really don't. You know who inspires me, to be honest, guys, is listening to the people who are in my circle. So, in the morning, Josh, I might be thinking about one of your posts, or Cafele, or somebody else. And now I'm gonna add Dr. Moreno, to that list. Just thinking about something you said, because I have an inner voice that I try to listen to, and I'm always, and sadly I have to admit, I'm always stressing something at school. Some kid that needs something, some family that's struggling, or but I really think about the people who are in our circle, in our network, our family, of people who really inspire us to keep going, and other people, their examples, just the way they live, the way they operate. I get up and say, listen, if they can do it, I can do it, and that's what inspires me to, because many people they think they're tired, but they're really uninspired. And what they need to see is there are people right in your own, you don't have to go too far away. There are people right in our own circle,
Right.
that do enough.
What was that name again? Someone's
What's that?
Vanessa's asking.
A history teacher.
Dr. Greg Carr, I think Howard University. He's a professor at Howard University. Gregory Carr. See, I think it's double R. I think for sure, right? It's 2 R's. But Dr. Greg Carr, it's good brother.
Awesome.
Research him. But I'm done. You go ahead.
Just to piggyback on that, I agree. And people ask me, how are you able to do this, Josh? How can you do this, and put all these things out there about your kids and post everything? You know what? I have people that I do admire. And Jefe, you know this. I'm real with you. I'm real with everybody. Marty will tell you, I don't care. I don't blow smoke up anybody. That I see that man tell me that he can't find a flight and that he has to rent a car and drive 6 hours,
12 hours,
get his butt to bed just to shower.
Yeah.
If he has time to shower and go present the way. If you've heard him before, I've heard that man. I don't know how many times I've heard this man. I brought him to 2 of my houses. I've heard this guy, and he's always exactly on point, inspiring, motivating, speaking the truth for educators to hear, the spirituality that is education. And he's not complaining about, I had a long day. No, because that message is not for you, educator. Yes, it is, but it's for you to pass it on to your scholar so that you're a builder and you create future builders of this beautiful country, this beautiful melting pot that we have. Look at this. Look at the call. Look at right here. Look at this call right here. This is the melting pot. You've got immigrants here. You've got different races here. You got people that inspire the next generation of leaders in America. And when this man posts, I only slept 30 minutes, and you're complaining that you have to stay 10 minutes for extra duty for lunch, get over yourself. Stop crying the blues. You know what? If you do want to make an impact out there, you got to find that person that's shining the light, not with words, but with actions. And I say that to the day that I die. You got to follow people that will inspire you by their actions, not their words. Marty, last question.
And let me hey, Marty, real quick, just for clarification for anybody that heard that, because I want them to receive it the way that Josh intended. I'm not asking someone to kill themselves, but it's like, I don't want to call a client, a superintendent, a principal, and say, my flight was canceled. Now you booked me 6 months ago, a year ago, whatever it is. And now on the day of, the night of, I don't want to call them and say, Doc, my flight's canceled. I can't be there. Right now I have people I can call because Salome knows I will call him and say, yo, like I had COVID this year. And I said, Salome, you can't handle that for me. Right. So, but that one time, I mean, it was 7 o'clock in the night. It was still sunny outside. I'm in Orlando, Florida. I got to be in Raleigh, North Carolina in the morning. So I drove from 7 to 7. So I saw sunset and sunrise in the same drive. It was crazy. I took a quick shower and I spoke for 8 hours, and I don't advise people live that way, but I just refuse to call a client and say, I'm sorry. I'm just not going to do it.
You go back to your word. That's come Alpha Omega, your word. Dr. Moreno.
All right, guys, this is the last question, and it is super easy because it's a fill in the blank question. So, Robert, your question right here. Finish the statement, sir. When I do not want to work out, I blank to ignite my motivation.
I would say dance.
You dance to ignite
I
your
like
motivation.
that.
Hey, I love
I'll
it.
put
I
on a
love
song and crank it up, and I'll just dance, and then I'm like, all right, I gotta go.
gotta
We're
do
gonna
it.
need to
Gotta
see
get it
some
in.
video of that, my brother. I need to see those dances.
Proof.
It's just kind of smooth. I'm not doing anything crazy. I'm just grooving a little bit.
Got the
I
old
love
man
it,
on
love it.
it.
You know.
Principal L, your question. Finish the statement.
You know
It's the
what?
same
To
statement.
ignite me, I think about the people who can't do it, and I realize that I don't have to do it. I get to do it.
Get to
So
do it. Yes,
let
sir.
me go ahead and do it, because there are people who want to that can't,
they
and
can't.
younger than us, who can't get out there and do it, or who refuse. And
Yeah.
that most times I say, let's go ahead, just I think about the alternative. Rob, I'm telling you, I'm learning so much, brother. I'm gonna create a whole catalog from
I
listening
love
to you.
it.
But I think about that alternative. Is it getting me closer to my goal or away from my goal? And that
Robert,
gets
see,
me,
you said
yeah.
this. See how it's already kind of coming back to circle. See that? I love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it. Principal Cofelli, when I don't want to work out, I blank to ignite my motivation.
I'm kind of like Robert. I'm a two-stepper. That's what I do, and I'm kind of there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. And I love it. Thank you so much, you guys. Josh, it's time for the Échale Ganas question, sir. because
Échale
it is
Ganas
time.
question. And at the very end, gentlemen, if you got your books out there, let's promote them. If you got time to there at the very end, we're gonna start off with you, Robert. It's 9 real quick questions. Ganas. PGP podcast is for Ganas. This is a word. This is a magical word for all Hispanics. We're not a monolith. Bolivianos are not the same as El Salvadoreños. Puerto Ricanos are not the same as Mexicans. We're not the same, but there is one word that unites us all. And that's a fire word. That is a generational spirit word. That is Ganas. And I want you to answer these questions with Ganas, Robert. You're the first one to go right now. Now, this is a lightning round, okay?
All right.
If you're taking too long, these big fat cheeks are going to get close to the camera. That's telling you that you're taking too long. I cannot do a wah, 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 wah. No. The cheeks getting closer, that means you're talking too much, all right? It's a lightning round, all right? And at the very end, you got anything to promote? Let's make sure we promote it out there.
Got it.
So here we go. Échale ganas, Robert Selders. Give the audience, oh, my bad. I scrolled up to the wrong one. Here we go. Give advice to a new teacher.
I would say respect the person who you want to become by taking excellent care of the person you are today.
Read a note, an email, a text from a parent, a colleague, or student that inspired you with their words.
Got one of my clients here. It says, Robert is truly a unicorn. I've never met anyone who motivates, inspires, or encourages the way he does. A true leader and definition of someone I would follow into any battle with. I remember doing a level method session. I told him I hated him. He said, hate me later, finish the workout.
Let's go. Send some flowers to an active colleague who inspires you.
Miss Linda Griffin. She's been on our school board for a long, long time, and she's taught me a lot about governance and advocacy.
Name one person the audience should follow on social media.
I would say Principal L and Principal Cofelli, but since they're already here and everybody's probably following them, from a longevity standpoint, I would say 2 people, Peter Attia and Andrew Huberman.
What would be your fantasy New Year's Eve day location on earth?
So I wouldn't have a fantasy, but I've just grown up going to church. My parents always say, as the new year sets, find yourself in church and on your knees praying and thanking God for the year that you just came out of and praying for the year that you're going into.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. Tell the audience that one hit wonder that you love.
Oh man, this is gonna go way back. Lenny Williams, I love you. I love. Yeah.
Which education movie or education show motivates you?
The one that I would say motivated me was Lean on Me. That was a great movie. I love that movie.
What book changed your life?
Nathan McCall's Makes Me Want to Holler.
How can the audience get a hold of you, sir, and say, I want to be a board member? How do I do it?
You can reach out to me anytime. Instagram, Robert Selders Jr., Facebook, Robert L. Selders Jr., on X or Twitter, Selders for GISD. I think I have a LinkedIn account. I don't check it very often, but it's Robert Selders Jr.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. If you got to log off, we love you. Thank you for being here in the panel. If you want to stick around, stick around.
I'm going to head out. It was great meeting you guys. Principal Capele, Principal L. Thank you guys, Marty and Josh. Thank you for the opportunity. And to all your listeners and viewers, I really appreciate the time that you guys had and having me on this call. Thank you so much.
Appreciate, brother. God bless you.
God bless you as well.
Principal L, here we go.
Yes,
give advice to a new teacher.
Basically, stay in tune with why you do the work. See yourself in those young people, because when you do, you won't ever let them give up on themselves.
Read a note, an email, a text from a parent, a colleague, or student that inspired you with their words.
I'm going to read something somebody posted on social media, because people send me a lot of messages, and I want them to know that I'm not going to kind of talk about what they send me. So here's a former student comment on the post that said, not sure if you remember me, but my name is Jabbar Lee. I have my own business. I used to love you when you were our principal. You were the man, right? When they tell you the man, you know, that's when they know you're right. He said, I will never forget you. Although you were tough on us, it was tough love. And I think I probably love that the most, that many kids who see me later in life, the one thing they'll say was, man, you were tough on us, because I wanted kids to know if I'm hard on you now, it'll be easy on you later in life.
Absolutely.
Send some flowers to an active colleague who inspires you.
In Delaware tomorrow, we have a funeral for a police officer who was murdered at our DMV, Department of Motor Vehicles. And there are going to be 3,000 vehicles in the procession. So many of my colleague principals are struggling with how to navigate school and keep things buses safe. So shout out to all of them. I have two colleagues in Delaware, Dr. T.J. Rary and Joseph Jones, who I've written quite a few books with, great leaders. And I'm just praying for them and all other leaders in Delaware who are working to keep kids safe.
Name one person the audience should follow on social media.
I got a few. We had some women. Kafel and I have been trying to lift up women in education. So I'm just Dr. Rachel and Dr. Sonia Matthews in Maryland and Dr. Sheikha Houston. Want to just give them all a shout out. Wonderful supporters, as you know, Josh and Marty, you know, great people. And then a big shout out to Dot McKeever Jeter. She is the biggest champion of people cheerleaders. So I want to give her a huge hug, huge shout out. Great people, follow them.
What will be your fantasy New Year's Day location on Earth?
Oh, I got to be in the Bahamas or Bermuda. So I got to be somewhere nice and warm and sunny around some good people and good food.
Tell the audience that one hit wonder that you love.
Take your time, young man. My mama used to say, it's a song by Young Man Jr. It was a great song, but don't really remember him doing much more after that.
Which education movie or education show motivates you?
As Robert said, Lean on Me, but I'm gonna tell you something else I really love was Stand and Deliver. You know, as a young teacher, man, that was my movie. You know, Edward James Olmos, of course, from Miami Vice, but it was just a great story.
What book changed your life?
Conspiracy to Destroy Black Boys. Dr. Kunjufu Kafel and I were just on a podcast, you know, just talking about his memory. But also, I'm gonna be quite honest with you. When I started reading those books, that's when I started getting introduced to Kafeli. You know, he wrote a lot about closing the attitude gap and motivating black males. And then he met me. He had read I Choose to Stay. So, you know, he's somebody also that inspired me as well.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
How can the audience get a hold of you, sir? I know you're very hard to find, sir. I know you're very hard to find. How can people get a hold of you?
PrincipalL.com, PrincipalEL.com. I'm on Dr. Principal L on Instagram. You know, Principal L on X and Facebook. I'm trying to be a lot more active on LinkedIn, but just reach out to me and let's I got a new book out. I got to plug it. Principal Kefele wrote the foreword, so I appreciate him. Meet the Needs and They'll Succeed. Been getting a lot of attention. A lot of districts are using it as for book study, so I appreciate Kefele for all he did to help me with that as well.
Appreciate it.
Beautiful. Jefe, vámonos duro, jefe. Échale ganas. Give advice to a new teacher.
Learn as much as you can. Be a sponge. Take it all in. And know that first year, if it's a tough year, it doesn't define your second all the way to your last year.
Yeah.
Read a note, an email, a text from a parent, a colleague, or student that inspired you with their words.
Yeah, I'm going to paraphrase it. Dear Mr. Kefele, I am 40-something years old now, but you were my teacher. And I know now what I didn't know then. You were putting your career on the line for us because the kind of material you were exposing us to, none of us were ever exposed to it again in life. You were giving us material that empowered us, that inspired us, that informed us. And I just want to thank you for it. That is, and that's a real letter that I received. And it's probably the most potent letter that I've ever received from any former student.
Eso. Send some flowers to an active colleague who inspires you.
I'm gonna go with, I want to, when I saw that, I want to go with someone older than me. I'm gonna go with Todd Whitaker in the space that we operate, because meeting him for the first time decades ago, it inspired me because I had read so many of his books beforehand.
If you have not seen the interview that Jefe did with Todd Whitaker, it's a must. It's a must. I still think about that interview. Go to his.
Where's that interview?
On the AP and New Principals Academy.
You have to see it.
You had Todd on with you,
I've had
brother?
everybody on.
Oh
Everybody.
man, I thought you were the man. I thought I was the man. I'm the man talking to the man.
Yeah, no, everybody to somebody's been on there.
Yes, sir.
Name
One day
one
I'll be
person.
on there. One day.
Yeah, right. Yeah. You were.
Name one person in the audience you follow on social media.
Second guess. Come again.
Name one person the audience you follow on social media.
I'm gonna give a name that I don't hear people saying on this platform. Josh Tovar. A lot of information that you put out there, a lot of good stuff. You put other people's quotes and all sorts of stuff, but the things you're doing at school. And I hear you ask that question every week. If people are, they're searching around like who they're gonna, but I think they forget about you, Josh Tovar.
Before you go to that last question, I'm gonna inject something real quick. One of the things I noticed about Josh too is he's always doing. When I've been in places, I've seen him asking, "You need water? You need this? You need that?"
Yeah.
I appreciate you, brother, for having that spirit of wanting to do for others. All right, go ahead.
Wait, hang on. I know we enlightened around, but I got to jump on that one too. But the water, the lunch, but it's also, do you need a drive to the airport? Right.
Yes.
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 Yeah. No, that's the man, right?
It takes a special person. It takes a special person to be comfortable celebrating other people, Josh. It really does.
That's right.
Especially success.
Thank you. These cheeks don't know how to handle those kind of comments. Thank you very much.
I noticed. I see that.
I don't know. I don't know how to take that stuff. All right. Thank you.
And Marty, we love you too. We love you.
Oh
too,
yeah.
Marty.
We
love you.
All right. Stop it. Here we go. It's a lightning round. Listen to me. What would be your fantasy New Year's Day location on Earth?
Accra, Ghana.
Africa, yes.
Tell the audience that one hit wonder that you love.
Soul for Real, Candy Rain.
Okay.
Which education movie or education show motivates you, sir?
Because they mentioned Lean on Me and Stand and Deliver, I'm just going to go with Freedom Writers.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
I know the answer. Everyone knows the answer, but just tell them, what book changed your life, sir?
Autobiography of Malcolm X.
And finally, it's hard to get a hold of this young man. You can hardly ever find him. He's like under a rock.
Where is he? Where is he?
He's under a Puerto Rican rock right now.
Yeah.
But how can you get a hold of this young man right here?
Yeah, it's easy. PrincipalCafele.com. All my social media is there. My email is there. Everything is there, right on the homepage. My books, everything. PrincipalCafele.com.
Thank you very much, panel here, Robert Selders, for being here today. Just a quick reminder on the plug. Kefe, you have your book around with you?
You know it.
Of course. Right
Yeah.
there. Did we make 10,000? Did you make 10,000?
I'll know tomorrow, probably.
Tomorrow?
Yeah. But I doubt it seriously. You know, this economy, I ain't gonna get into the politics of it, but it killed it. It killed a lot of books.
Well, it's the politics too, because they're stopping people from ordering books that preach the kind of knowledge you're preaching as well. It's
That's
a double.
right.
It's a double standard. It's crazy.
Right. No,
Double-edged sword, man.
This book should have been. ASCD's bestseller number is 10,000, and it should. All my books hit that within month 5 or 6. So this one, I knew it was going to hit it, and then we got into what we're into, and now people couldn't order. My name has certain connotation to it, and all that kind of stuff. So we're somewhere mid 9,000. But I don't think we hit that 10,000 mark. If they call me tomorrow or email me tomorrow and say that we did, I'd be shocked.
Well, just like Dr. Marcus Jackson says, order that book. Let's get it across, whether the title or not. Let's get the 10K for Jefe. He does a lot for us. Right there, you got it. And a quick reminder that a guy could come in from poverty from another country, learn English,
Yeah.
get a couple of degrees under his belt, and end up in 2 books. The Lord is great. He has guided me correctly. If you want to get these 2 books right here,
What's the title, Josh? Give us the title.
More Than Just Principles and Grow Your Why. I was featured in a couple of chapters in these books. God is great.
Who edited the blue one? More Than Just a
Robert Hinchcliffe.
Oh, okay.
And that's a great segue, because the next 2 weeks, we're going to be having part of those 15 authors showing up. We're going to have Dr. Chris Culver, Rachel Edoweckett, Jeremy Brooks, Jennifer Black, Adam Lane, Robert Hinchcliffe, and Jamie Brada. They'll be here next week. They were part of these. These are national speakers, national authors, and yours truly was very blessed to be part of this. I'd like to thank the panel very much. Remember, this was not medical advice. We are not physicians. We're here just to give you our journey. That's 2026. That is our temple, and we want to thank you. Please make sure that you like and share this afterwards. If you're seeing it later on, please like it and share it. I get no money for a quarter tank or an eighth tank of my gas. I get no money whatsoever. On the contrary, we're here to provide this knowledge. These gentlemen, all 87 shows, all 87 consecutively live shows, nonstop, thanks to inspirations by certain people that are around me to always promote and move ahead. So remember, we're not alone, guys. In 2026, use this as a tool for success, because you are the builder. As you go in tomorrow, please be positive. And when your scholars come in on Tuesday, they love you, they need you. And you know what? You were missed. They will tell you, and some of them will not tell you, but you were missed. They care about you. They love you. And that's what we need to promote. Don't be promoting the negativity out in your car. Be promoting the beautiful thing that it is, everyday lesson, and that pop, that beautiful pop, that when the lights go off and your favorite concert comes on, your favorite artist, pop, everyone screams. That is you. You are their rock star. They missed you. They love you. They need you. Be here next week for episode 88 of the PGP podcast. Say goodbye, everybody.
Yes.
All right. Shout out to Kenyelle Sessions. She's on here all the time. Got to get to
Yes.
know her as well.